slammed my key fob against an empty parking space and felt the world tilt. My 2024 Civic, midnight blue, still smelling like the dealership plastic, was gone. No shattered glass, no yellow toe sticker, no note. Just a rectangle of cold concrete where the first thing I ever truly owned was supposed to be. My name is Mara Santos, 32, senior developer in Austin, Texas. People call me the reliable one, the way other people get called beautiful or funny. Like it's a gift. They never mention the receipt. Growing up in San Antonio, my little sister Camila was the hurricane and I was the storm shelter everyone else ran into. She cried louder, dreamed bigger, broke faster. Mom and Dad treated her like hand-blown glass. They treated me like brick. Brick doesn't complain when you lean on it too hard. I paid my own way through college. Double shifts at a campus cafe, ramen for dinner, scholarships clawed out of nowhere. When Camila flunked a semester and needed tuition, my savings account quietly emptied itself into hers. Family takes care of family, Mom said, patting my cheek like I should be proud. I learned early. Camila's mistakes were accidents. Mine were character flaws. After graduation, I moved north, built a life I could point to and say paid for with my own hours. 6 years of overtime, skipped vacations, and saying, "I'm fine," whenever anyone asked. Last spring, I finally signed the papers on that Civic. First brand new car I'd ever had. My parents clapped politely over FaceTime, but I caught the flicker in Dad's eyes. Like my stability was a silent accusation. Camila had already totaled 4 cars in 6 years. Each wreck was met with hugs, new keys, and, "She's going through a lot." I stopped counting after the red Mustang. So when my spot sat empty that Thursday evening, my brain tried every logical excuse. Wrong row, company tow, early onset dementia, before the uglier truth crawled in. This felt familiar. This felt like home. I called my parents with shaking hands. "Mom, my car's gone." Did someone take it?" A soft laugh on the other end. "Relax, Mija. We let Camila borrow it. Her Corolla died again and she starts that new serving job tomorrow. You can Uber for a couple days." My lungs forgot how to work. "You took my key?" "Borrowed," Dad corrected in the background. "It's still in the family. Don't be dramatic." Dramatic. The word they'd weaponized since I was 12. I heard myself say, "Put it back. Now." Mom sighed like I'd asked her to move the moon. "She'll return it Sunday. You're overreacting." Something inside me that had been clenched for 20 years finally tore loose. "No," I said. The single syllable felt like stepping off a cliff. "I'm calling the police." Dead silence. Then Mom's voice, sharp as a slap. "Marisol, do not embarrass us." I hung up while she was still talking. Officer Delgado showed up in under 15 minutes. Tall, calm, zero patience for fairy tales. I handed over registration, insurance, the folder of proof that car was mine alone. She listened, nodded once, and asked the question that rewrote my childhood. "Did anyone have permission to take this vehicle?"
No, Ian Suarat.
My voice didn't shake. "Not even family." She put out the bolo before I finished the sentence. 24 hours later my phone rang. Delgado again. "We recovered your Civic. Your sister was pulled over doing 85 on I-35. Cars in impound." "And Camila?" Scared, crying, insisting it was a misunderstanding. A pause. "Family cases are still theft, Ms. Santos. Blood doesn't get a discount." I paid the impound fees with hands that finally stopped trembling. The inside of my car looked like a music festival had exploded. Glitter on the seats, Whataburger cups, a cracked phone screen wedged under the mat, gas needle kissing E. She'd had it 31 hours. Camila pleaded guilty 2 months later. 6 months probation, suspended license, restitution. My parents sat behind her clutching tissues, glaring at me like I was the criminal. When the gavel fell, Mom whispered loud enough for the whole row to hear, "How could you do this to your own sister?" I didn't answer. I was too busy noticing I could breathe deeper than I had in years. I moved to a new complex near Lady Bird Lake, got a new number, started therapy on Tuesday nights. I detailed the Civic until it smelled new again, then drove it west until the city disappeared in my rear view and the hill country opened up like forgiveness I didn't have to earn. 1 year later, a letter came. No return address, handwriting I hadn't seen since childhood. Camila wrote that probation was hard, therapy harder, and that she finally understood some things aren't hers to take just because she needs them. She didn't ask to come home. She just said thank you for the consequences. I read it twice, slipped it into a box labeled later, and locked my car with the club I still use every night. The Civic is still midnight blue, still mine. But now when I grip the wheel, I'm not holding on for dear life.
I'm steering.